we've got another slot that we are introducing. And in this slot, it's called Conversation Stoppers. And I'm going to invite the person who is responsible for Conversation Stoppers to come and introduce it now and to give you the first Conversation Stopper. It's Lindsay Burnham.
Okay, let me just get ready. I look quite intellectual.
In depth.
Right, conversation stoppers. The meaning. A remark which is so surprising that it is difficult to find a reply. So does your mind ever go blank when somebody asks you a question about your faith, about the Bible, or about Jesus? I know that mine has. So Rod has a list of some of the most common conversation stoppers. So we thought we'd share over the next few weeks some answers that you could give. These are only possible answers. If you have your own answers, that's great. And they're not the definitive answers. Okay? So they're just meant as a starting point. That, you know, sometimes you remember a story, don't you? And at that time when somebody asks you that question, that story comes to you. So that's all this is meant for, is just to give you that little bit of a thing. Sorry, Angela. Now I'm really loud. So it's just to help when your mind goes blank. So our first conversation stopper is you can't trust the Bible because humans wrote it. So this could be something that somebody says to you. So we're doing these in like it's supposed to be 3 minutes, but it won't be, right? So it's in three bullet points. So the first one is I'm going to compare other human written books. So this is a book by the Blitz. It's actually a book I haven't returned to the library since 2011. Now I'm thinking that maybe, that were a God incident, and that I was meant to have this book today. I'm going to use that anyway. So in this book there are accounts from people, real people, of what happened to them. So I'm just going to read you a little one. It says, "We went up to the roof to look. At Shepherd's Bush flames were leaping, and towards the city they were gigantic. As I walked up the road, I could see the smoke. A great red glow filled the sky. I had no need for a torch. I could see every step I took, and I could have read a book if I had wished." And this was told by Vera Hodgson, who was a welfare worker in the West End of London. So, that's that book. Now goes the Bible. And in Exodus, chapter 13, verse 21. By day, the Lord went ahead of them in a pillar of cloud to guide them on their way, and by night in a pillar of fire to give them light, so that they could travel day or night. Okay, so it's different circumstances, but why would you believe this one and not the other one? Because the history, I got this from Nod, by the way. Documented history is no less from the Bible. There's more history documents of Jesus than there are of Julius Caesar, but we have no problem in believing that Julius Caesar did what he did. So why should we believe any less? The stories from the Blitz, we're lucky enough that a lot of people from that time are still alive and can still tell the story. But because the Bible was written so long ago, there's nobody left alive to tell us those stories. But those stories came the same way as these stories came. So that's one way that you can answer that question, or you can start a conversation with that. Another one is to point them in the direction of the book of Revelations. Challenge them to read it and come back to you with any questions, but be prepared. Because if they're going to read Revelations, they're going to have a lot of questions. But that is one place you can send them if they want to read something from the Bible and come back to you. And then the third one is a little bit of a story. Say you started a course at university, and you went in and you met this professor, and he was a lovely guy, but not much help. So you finally got to the end of your course, and you didn't do very well. And your professor says, "Oh, I had a book, I had a guide that would have helped me through this. I forgot to give it you." Well, that's the same. A leader wants to guide, and that's what Jesus gave us with the Bible. He gave us a guide, but the professor that forgot to give that book probably wasn't written by him. They weren't his words, they were somebody else's words, and that's no different than the Bible. So, I'm going to have lost my name. Turn the page, Lindsay. So however you decide to answer a conversation stopper, just remember to answer with confidence. Sometimes the answer is not what they are looking for, it's the strength of your faith that answers them. So, hope that helps. And we're going to have this every week. But sometimes you do need an intellectual answer, so I will be giving that one that week. So I will be asking for some help from other people.